Hello all and welcome to kalamlearninglab YouTube channel. In the past videos, we saw everything about the basics of graphic designing, including the tools that you can use if you are a beginner, along with the software named as Canva, using which you can create ultimate designs. So from this video onwards, we'll be moving into our main step. That is, we'll be working on a software which we call as Photoshop. However, once you gain a certain experience with using Photoshop, I would suggest you to move on to Adobe Illustrator, which is obviously the best illustrating and art software for expertise. Let's get into the video. So here we are, and this is what a Photoshop art board looks like. Now, looking at this as a beginner might confuse you a lot because there are many tools and options right behind your eyes, but as and when you get used to it, it becomes a far more easier. Now for easy understanding, let's just divide the screen into three parts. To the left, what you see is a toolbar, and to the center, this blank screen area is called as a canvas. So this canvas is nothing but an art board wherein you will be creating your designs. And moving on to the right, what we call as layers palette. So moving on to the first one, the toolbars are the main and basic thing for creating any design in Photoshop, be it a design or a photo manipulation or a photo editing, whatever it may be. Toolbars is at most main thing. So this toolbar has been categorized as 7 main types. The first one over here are the move tools. Coming to the bottom, what you see here are the selection tools, and starting from here are the crop and slice tools. Further, if you move down, these are your measuring tools, are the retouching tools, and these are your painting tools. And starting from here, we call them as drawing and type tools. And to the bottom, we have navigation and 3D tools, that is this hand tool and rotate view tool and zoom tool. So once if you understand this classification easily, then that means that yes, you have understood the basics and it becomes clear for you when you are going into creating a design the next time. So the each and every video starting from this will have a PDF of shortcuts and this tool cheat sheet in the description box below. You can find them at any time. The very first part of Photoshop is to understand how a layers panel work. So let's start working on it. So I am opening an image right now. You can either go to the file and select this open option. So here's my image now. It's in a JPEG format. As I have imported my image in the right bottom column, you can see that my image is now showing as a background, which means like there is one single layer right now, and which is obviously our main image. Now, if you observe the image closely, you will see that it, however, has some grains in it and it needs some contrast, tuning and color balance. However, this is not that perfect. So what I'm going to do is just come to the top here again and click on image column, and you find that there are 3 menus: auto tone, auto contrast and auto color. So we're gonna apply some adjustment to it. So now before doing that, just come to the layers panel again. Now we are going to create 3 different duplicate layers. For you to demonstrate how each and every layer works, I'm gonna create separate layers for the first time. What you can do is, you can come to this background menu here, just right click on your mouse and you get an option here which says duplicate layer. Now duplicate layer basically means it duplicates the image or the design whatever you have in the same exact thing. So just press it. The very first adjustment that you are going to apply is auto tone. So I'm going to type here auto tone. Click on OK. Now, alternatively, what you can do is, instead of coming over here and clicking on the right mouse and selecting duplicate layer, however, you can press the shortcut Ctrl plus D, or if you are using Mac, then it is Command plus D, which is the shortcut for duplicating a layer. So now, auto tone layer has been created. What I will do is go back to the image column here again, and you find the first option which says auto tone. Come to the image panel and click on this auto tone, or however you can do that by pressing Shift plus Ctrl plus L or Shift plus Command plus L. Just click on it. Now, as soon as I clicked it, you can definitely see a change in the image, like before how it was and now how it is. So you can see that the grain level has been reduced a bit of saturation has been applied to the image. So anyways, however, when you are applying a new set of layer, you can always have a comparison track, like before how your work was and now after the layer, how it has been modified. So you can always do that by coming to this eyeball column which you see here on the right again. So now I want to check very quickly before how my image was and after applying this auto tone how my image is changed. So I can do that by clicking on this eyeball very next to the auto tone, because I'm going to disable my auto tone layer by clicking on this, and now you can see the difference. So before how it was and after applying this effect how the picture has changed. Once again I'm clicking on this. You can do this at any time for any layer or any effect to check the comparison of how it was before and how it has changed now. So quickly, again we will create a duplicate layer, and this time we are going to name it as auto color. Now once again very quickly I will go to my image column, and this time we are going to select auto color over here. Once again you can see that auto color has definitely impacted our image. So however, again you can just disable it and you can see before how it was and now how it is. The same way, next what I'm going to do is, again I'm going to create another duplicate layer, and this time I'm going to name it as auto contrast. So come back to your image panel again. Now in the middle you find an option which says auto contrast. Just click on it, and once again there is a contrast effect which has been applied to the image automatically by Photoshop. What it basically this auto things does is, it just analyzes your image and Photoshop automatically decides what amount of ISO must be there in the image, whether to make it more noisy or to make it a bit softer, whether to sharp it or unsharp it, or whether to increase the exposure or whether it must have a little bit less of exposure. So all such things including the texture, detailing of your image, everything is decided by Photoshop. So now I have clicked on every aspect, auto tone, auto color and auto contrast, and now you can see the difference, like before how the image was and now how the image is. Very quickly what you can do is, as you can see that we have created 3 layers over here, auto tone, auto color and auto contrast. I wish to have it in a group because now it might look very easy, but in future when we are going to work on complex designs, having each and every layer segregated out without a group like this is definitely going to confuse you at one point or the another. So what I'm going to do is, I'm gonna create a group, and you can do that however by clicking on control and select the layers that you want to group with your mouse, and you can either press Ctrl plus G or Command plus G in Mac, or you can right click on your mouse, and if you scroll to the you can right click on your mouse, and if you scroll to the bottom you will find an option which says merge layers. Right click on your mouse. If you scroll down from the top, you will find an option that says group from layers. So select on this, and a panel appears wherein you can name your group. So I'm gonna name it auto corrections. Just clicking OK. And now you can see that all the three effects are under the main group which says auto corrections. So this ways you can create or add a new layer to your image, as well as you can group your layers and you can organize it in a looking manner so as to avoid any confusion at a future point of time when you're creating complex designs. I wish to save this file as a Photoshop folder, as well as I want my file to be exported as a JPEG again. So I can do that by coming to this file menu, clicking on this, and if you scroll down below you will see an option that reads save as. So either you can click it or you can press shift plus control plus S, or if you are using Mac again you have to press shift plus command plus S. So I have pressed on this and save on your computer. You can select whichever area you want and you can save the image, as easy as that. And you can save it as any type, either Photoshop or JPEG or GIF or IFF, in any format you wish. So just close it. Otherwise, if I want to export this picture, I can do that by either pressing the shortcut Alt plus Control plus Shift plus W, or you can come to this file menu again and you have to select this export option, wherein you have this export as option. So as I said, you can either open the file menu and click this, or you can press the shortcut key. So I'm just exporting it now. I did that. The export panel opened up here, which asks you the format in which you prefer to save. So here what I suggest you is come to the format, and instead of saving it in JPEG, always go for PNG images, as PNG is high resolution image compared to JPEG. So once done, you can just press the export and you can export wherever you want in your system. As simple as that. Now that I already have an image over here on my screen, and what I need to do is very quickly, I want to level this off a bit, and I'm gonna use some curves on this image. So let me show you very quickly. You can do that by either pressing the shortcut Control plus L or Command plus L if you're using a Mac, and you will see that a level box just popped up. You can come over to the image column in the top panel, and you can open the image panel, and you will see an option which says adjustment in the very next mode. All you need to do is expand that and you will find a levels column over there. So either you can use the shortcut or you can come here and you can just open the levels column. Now as soon as I opened it, you will find a histogram chart over here that was your image lighting right now. So right now it's in 1, which means that it is in the midpoint exactly, wherein it is nor underexposed nor overexposed. It means, in simple terms, it is nothing but it is nor too lighty or nor too shadowy. So what I will do is let me just change its values and see how the image looks like when we change the values. For example, I will move this to a bit right. Now you see that the blacks are getting more and whites are getting reduced. It means the shadows are getting more and the picture is getting a bit underexposed. We don't want that, so we just give one again. Either keep the levels in default mode and adjust however you want as per the image, because of each and every image varies as per the image that you are using in. You can either set the preset in custom, or else you have an option here wherein you can, if you want the image to be a bit darker, then you can click darker, or else increase contrast. Midpoint darker is when it will consider the midpoint of your image as the radius and darken everything surrounding to it. As usual, you can just give the default mode wherein automatic settings will be applied to the image. And also, there is something called as channel mode, which is nothing but if you want your image to be more of a particular color, for example red, blue or green, you can do that by clicking in here. For example, I need a bit more of red color in my image. I'm moving my midpoint to a bit left, which means I'm gonna make my image a bit more reddish. So now you can see that the reds are getting more, and if I want the reds to be less, then I have to move it to the right, and you will see that whatever the red the image has, everything is getting removed, so it is giving a green and blue color right now. The same thing applies to green and blue as well. If you want more of green in your image, then you can do that. At the same time, if you want more of a blue color in your image, you can again do that. So depending on your individual image, you can just perform a trial and error in the beginning till you get satisfied with your settings. The next thing is curves. So you can just open it again in the same image panel under adjustments, or else you can press the shortcut Ctrl plus M. So once you do that, you see that a pop-up menu has been opened, and this curves is again something very similar to levels, wherein you can change the color. If you want, you can increase the redness of the image, green and bluish aspect of the image, or else if you want the image to be negative of color, you can do this, but generally no one does this, so just uncross process. And if you want the image to be darker, then you can do it from here. And if you want the image to be more of a contrasting in nature, then you can access it. Just basically you have a number of menus in down then here, wherein you can make the image lighter, linear contrast, medium contrast, negative and strong contrast. So you just can, so all you need to do is, depending upon your image and your design, you just have to perform a trial and error till the time you get satisfied with your settings. So that's it. Photoshop automatically has the option of merging two to three images to one single image, which is normally a part of photo manipulation concept. However, this is also used in designs wherein what we do is we just merge two to three assets of different images to one single image to create a brochure, poster, or any kind of designs for that matter. So we are going to do that same thing here. As you see that I have already loaded a list of assets over here, and let us create a merging image right now. So right now, what you're seeing on the screen is the image of an illustrated map right now. And what I'm going to do is I need to merge some two to three images, which is a marker, a ship, a navigation bar, and a cloud. I have just opened my another asset, which is a marker, and I need to drag and drop it. What you need to do is first you have to make sure that you have selected the selection tool. You can do that, however, by clicking on here or by pressing V in the keyboard. So once making sure that you are in the selection tool, just click on your object with your mouse by pressing the left button And don't leave the button until you drag and drop it over there. So all you need to do is, by clicking on the mouse, drag your image and take it to the another tab to which you have to merge your image. I know this might sound a bit weird, but this is the only way. Now, as we have merged our image, in our layers panel, you can observe that we have created 5 layers as of now. So as I said earlier when speaking about layers panel, you can group them all now so that it will be easier for you whenever you're creating additional designs with it in future. Just Control plus G here, and I will name it as map. So merging is done. But if you look into the image still, you will find out that the image is still in a transparent background, that is, it has no background. And if we export this image right now as it is, then it will get exported without a background, which is a vector form. And I don't need that because I need my image in a PNG form right now. So what I have to do is, we will just, in layers panel, we will just come to the bottom and you will find a circle kind of button over here. Clicking that will expand a menu. In this menu, just come over here and click on solid colors. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give it a sky blue color as a background. So in blue, just this would be appropriate. Click on OK. And as I did that, you will now notice that a new layer has been created by the name colorfill 1. But however, this layer is in the top of our map, that is the group panel, automatically is like overriding our image. So it made our design to disappear now. So what we have to do is just click on this color fill layer. By clicking on this, just move it below our map group, and that's it. So by doing this, we just took it from the foreground to the background of our image. We have just merged an image from 2 to 3 different assets, gave it a background, and we will export it. So you can do that by pressing Alt plus Shift plus Command or Control plus W, or you can click on the File menu, come to the bottom, and you can press Export As. Thanks for watching the video, guys. We will discuss the upcoming concepts in our upcoming videos.